Hi guys, this is the Oracle, and I'm back on MTGO for a third vintage cube draft. I wanted to thank the few people who gave me positive feedbacks about the last two drafts I made, and I'll definitely continue to upload more vintage cube as long as it is available, and then some Oath of the Guest Watch draft after its release. Anyway, if you have any advice on how I could make this video more interesting and entertaining to you, just feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, let's now get into the draft. So this pack has some interesting cards. I do like the Council Judgment a lot because it can deal with pretty much anything. Since it doesn't target, it's quite awesome. Um, Engine is a fine card, but probably not a first pick. Mox Diamond is always good. I do like Force of Will a lot, and Blue too. And I really want to test the Reti. I do like this Planeswalker a lot, though um, I haven't had the chance to play it. And playing an artifact Dareti deck is something I really want to be doing. Um, I'm not sure that it's gonna be the pick though. I think I'm just gonna take Force of Will. Um, in my opinion, this is one of the best cards from the pack we just saw. And even if I want to try the Reti, I think the difference in power level between the two cards is is so huge that I mean I'm not even sure. But in any case, Force of Will is a nice first pick. I can do several things with that, and I will probably follow that Force of Will with a land, either Scalding Tarn or Underground Sea. Sulfuric Vortex is one of the strongest cards in the cube for the mono red archetype, but I'm not really doing that right now. Recurring Nightmare is nice, especially with Survival of the Fittest in the right deck. That card can be pretty busted. But overall, this pack is not very strong, and I think I'm just gonna take Underground Sea. I'm not sure though. Scalding Thorn might be better. I'm not completely sure. I'm gonna take Scalding Thorn. Um, Fetches might be a bit better since they um, they have the shuffle effect, which can be useful with some abilities like Brainstorm. And if Darity wheels and I can play the blue-red artifact deck, that'd be my dream basically. There are a few interesting cards for me here. I do like Thirst a lot, even if I'm not playing a dedicated artifact deck. Lightning Bolt is always a nice removal, and then there is Chase, which is actually strong. I just made a draft where my final opponent used Chase to cast two Ancestral Recall. Let me tell you that I didn't win those game. Um, and it's also a blue card that I can pitch to Force of Will. Overall, it's a fairly good card. Tezzeret is nice. Now I really wish that Darity is gonna wheel, especially since if it wheels, it means that Artifact team is probably open, which would be quite nice. Another option would be to take Made of It, which is a decent card, especially if I'm playing Control. But I think Tezzeret has more upside overall, and it also goes well with Force of Will as a card that I can pitch. Um, if the Darity wheels, it's nice because I can discard big artifact with Jace and put them back on the battlefield with Darity. That'd be a fairly good, fairly nice synergy. Mystical Tutor is strong, but not really in the deck I'm building right now. I think I'm leaning toward taking either Thran Dynamo or Signet. Since the Signet has blue in it, I do like it quite a bit. and black could be useful. Uh, I mean, if I can get the other Tezzeret, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think the Signet is just better overall. Though I like Tran Dynamo quite a lot. If this Signet was, let's say, white-green, I would probably have taken the Dynamo over it, but since it will also help me fix my mana base, I think it's a fairly good pick. That's a pretty late opposition. That card, as you probably already know, is quite busted. Um, right now, I do not really have ways to use it. And I do like Spell Pierce a lot. Chandra could be an option if I'm playing red. I think I'm just gonna take opposition right now. It's quite early in the draft, which means if I take that now, I might be able to build a sweet opposition deck, and yeah, I might not end up playing the artifact themed deck, but if I can get a good opposition deck, that'd be nice too. That pack has Vindicate, which is really strong, but I'm not really playing either black or white yet. Deluge is nice, Toxic Deluge. I do like Agony Vengeance a lot, but again, two colors I'm not playing right now is not very exciting. Overall, there's not much for me here. Um, think I'm gonna take Toxic Deluge. Um, I might end up blue-black control, in which case this card is quite good. It's also a sideboard option that I can use with I mean splash with the Dime Signet, which is decent, and it actually kills a lot of things. Almost everything you can think of. I mean, indestructible, protection from colored creature, regenerator. So it's a really good sweeper. Here I'm gonna take Ralzarek. It's not great, but there is not much else, so I think it's a completely fine pick. And Darity didn't wheel, but it's looking like we are probably not playing the artifact deck anyway, since we only got a Dimir Signet so far. As I said, I like Council Judgment a lot, but I'm not playing white right now. This could change. Opposition is better if I'm playing white, because there is a lot of token things in white. I'm just gonna take the Judgment. Right now, I'm quite sure I'm gonna be based blue, but I'm unsure about my other colors. Venser is nice because I could be playing a blue-white, a blue-white deck with tokens and enter the battlefield synergies. In which case, I think Cloud Goat Ranger is just better than Venser. Though blinking effect like Venser are nice because you often have cards like the Ranger or Flicker Wisp, Vendilion Click, and such cards that are really good to blink. Lingering Souls is a really nice pick there. It's a really strong card with opposition. I'm gonna take the Legionnaire, though it's not that great. I'm kind of happy about this Journey to Nowhere. I think it's an underrated removal spell. It deals with a lot of things, which I like, and Seeker of Prowess is fine, but nothing special. Parallax Wave, oh, Parallax Wave is nice. I'm not sure that I will end up playing it. We'll see. And Emeria Angel is a really nice gift to get that late. I mean, it's not really strong, but with again, this is one card that is really strong with opposition. So it's looking like we are building a blue-white opposition deck, which I'm completely fine with, but I will need some kind of fixing because these decks tend to have a lot of double colored mana, and here I want to take counter spells, which add to the fact that I will need fixing. Batterskull could be an option. Um, if I had a Stoneforge Mystic, I would take it, but right now it's not that appealing, and I do like counterspells a lot. Even if I'm playing maybe not so much control-y and more aggressive deck, counterspells are good. Um, yeah, I'm gonna take counterspell. Elfblade. Elfblade is quite the perfect card to have in this deck. It's one of the best planeswalker um, that have been printed, and it it does very well with opposition. Titan would be nice, but nothing too crazy. And if I can wield this Spectral Procession, that'd be amazing. And honestly, since I got Emeria Angel last pick and Lingering Souls really late in the last pack, I think this Procession is winning. And anyway, I'm really happy to take this Elsplit there. Monastery Mentor is actually really nice with opposition, especially if you can curve turn 3 Mentor into turn 4 opposition. This is really nice. Um, Ponder and Ventor are fine, but my other choice here would be Face Feather, which is a card I do like a lot, and a card that answers a lot of things, and the gain life is quite important in some matchups. But the Mentor is quite appealing. But I think I'm gonna take the Face Feather and hope that the Mentor wheels. As I said, since I got the Cloud Goat and the Lingering Souls quite late last pack, I can expect um, this Mentor to wheel. It's not sure, but it could definitely happen. I'm probably cutting this Rel Zarek right now. I'm probably not making Parallax Wave. Tezzeret does nothing right now. Um, and Dimir Signet and Toxic Deluge, I'm not sure. We'll see. That pack doesn't have match for me. I don't really like Archangel of Tune a lot. Of course, it's quite strong if it doesn't die, but most of the time it will just trade for a removal. It's not. I like Enter the Battlefield effect. Soldier of Pantheon is not very exciting either. I'm just gonna take Arin Mesa, and if I can get a Hallowed Fountain or a Tundra, this means that basically I have three ways to have a blue-white dual on the battlefield, which is really nice. Glen Elendra Archmage is probably one of the strongest card in the regular cube, and in the vintage cube it's also quite sick, especially since you can play Storm and reanimate, not reanimator, but you can definitely play Storm more efficiently in the vintage cube, which makes Archmage better. Anyway, there's not much else here. The Wayfarer would be decent, but more a sideboard option when I'm on the draw. And yeah, Archmage is quite perfect here. I do like Balance a lot, but right now I do not have many way to make it strong. Since I have only one artifact and one enchantment, I guess I have a Planeswalker too. Balance is not very good if you use Face Feather on a creature. I guess it's decent with Journey to Nowhere. On the other hand, there is Compulsive Research, which is quite amazing, and Treachery, which is really strong. Those three cards are really good for my deck, but I think I'm just gonna take Treachery. Um, Overall, I would say that this is the best card in the three we had to choose between here. This pack has Talia. Since I'm gonna play some counter spells and a decent amount of non-creature spells, I don't really want that. I've never played Brago. I've played against it and it was fairly good. I guess it's decent with Cloud God Ranger, but I do not have any an Archmage actually. Is that good enough? I think I'm just gonna take Spellskite. I do like that card a lot. It helps against two good archetype of this cube, which are um, Pestermite, Splinter Twin, and Mono Red. So that's a decent pickup, and it's also a thing I can tap with opposition, uh, and that's also nice. I mean, it's decent. Force Pack is fine, nothing great, but fine. Um, and actually, in an opposition deck, um, I might be able to lower their mana capacity, which make Force Pack better. But anyway, there wasn't anything else interesting in that pack. Here I could take, I think, either Caracas or Temple of Epiphany. I don't really want to play random 2 power 1 drop. I don't think that is very strong, and that is really what I want to be doing. So I'll take one of these 2 lands, and I might take the Temple actually, because with the Torrent, the Mesa, and the Temple, splashing red spells become quite easy. And I do have this Ralzarek, which does not have any synergy with Token, but which is decent, I guess. I might play that. Here I'm gonna take the Procession, as it is very good with opposition. Venser is nice, it's quite a late Venser. I could take Misium Mortars as a splash. I do like that card quite a lot, but the fact that I will never be able to overload it makes it less appealing. And Venser is just a nice card. It lets you have control over the board, but it's also a creature for opposition, which makes it quite perfect for my deck. Nothing really interests me here. I can take the Soldier. Again, I don't think I want to main deck random 1 mana, 1 white mana creature, but those might be interesting. I might want to banish a priest in some matchup. Drago did will, so I might play that. Right now I have 25 spell, which is more than enough. But I probably want to cut things. Whoa, this pack is quite busted. Natural Order is really strong. Demonic Tutor, also one of the strongest cards. Skull Clump is sick, and Ancestral Recall is probably one of the best cards in the cube with Sol Ring and Black Lotus. And there is the Temple of Enlightenment that is, I'm not gonna take that, but that would be a really good pick for my deck. Skull Clamps look appealing since I already have 5 different ways to make token, which is good. But I think I'm just gonna take Ancestral Recall. In some decks, Skull Clump might actually be better than Recall, but I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't think you can really... I mean, Skull Clamp would be really strong in my deck, but I'm still gonna take Recall. And I can pitch it to Force of Will, which is something I will probably never make, but it's an option at least. I mean, I'd rather do that to prevent a turn 1 Tinker than die, if I have no other option. That pack is not very good for me overall. I'm just gonna take Gideon, which is... it's just a good Planeswalker. There's not much else to say about Gideon. And the 6 mana Elfblad is quite nice actually. That card is... I mean, if you can resolve this with opposition on the battlefield, yeah, you can still lose, but that's very unlikely, I would say. So it's a good card. I probably don't want more costly spells, but I still like having this Esplat in my deck. Okay. There is a Flooded Strand, which would be nice, but we already have some fetches that doesn't fetch anything interesting right now. I guess Sacred Foundry would be more interesting since it means that my Scalding Tarn fetch either blue or either white. Mother of Ruin is nice when you are playing White Winnie. It's really a strong card. I don't think it's as strong as a more control-y core with tokens like mine. So I think I'm just gonna take Banishing Light. That could be wrong, but I really like to have control over what happens on the board, and this is what Banishing Light lets you do. So I think I'm gonna take that. But I could see people taking either Flooded Strand or the Foundry. That both of these cards could be interesting picks. I mean, more than interesting could be the actual the right pick. I think I'm gonna take Wrath of God here. Um, I could really use a Wrath effect, and right now it looks like my deck is moving towards something more control-y, which make the Wrath effect quite interesting. I don't think I want to play. I mean, Wasteland is super strong, but I don't think right now my mana base is not that great, so I don't think I can afford to play Wasteland anyway. And unfortunately, it seems like we didn't manage to get any Tundra or Hallowed Fountain, which is a bit annoying. I guess there is 2 packs more, if I'm not mistaken, after this one. Uh, okay, Sword of Fire and Ice is actually really nice here. It's probably the best sword overall, and it's good with tokens. So yeah, it's quite nice. I will probably main deck that. Here there is an Anticipate, which is fine but not very exciting. Mana Tease, I do have already Force Spike, so I will probably not play that. I guess I'm gonna take it. I don't think I will play either um, of those, but they are a good sideboard option. Okay, Ravages of War is interesting. Flicker Wisp is nice, but I have only Cloud God Ranger and Archmage that can really benefit from it, so I don't think it is that good. And Ravages is a solid option. Again, I might not main deck that, but it's probably I'd be happy to have the option uh, of an Armageddon effect in my sideboard anyway. I don't need Day of Judgment. I don't think there is any matchup where I would want to play 2 Wrath, and I also have the Parallax Wave if I really need that. I'm just gonna take the Retreat. I'm not even sure I'm gonna splash the Ral Zarek, but we'll see how it goes. I guess this could be interesting with tokens, but in the end I think this is more looking like a control build than a token dedicated build, unfortunately. I still think I'll end up playing Opposition, but I don't think Spear of Iliad is gonna be very good. I'm gonna take the Marsh Flats here. That's a shame because we got a lot of fetch, but we did not get any Brainstorm effect or dual land to fetch. I don't think we saw any Tundra or Hallowed Fountain. I would have taken those over pretty much anything. So that's a bit sad. Actually, I'm gonna take Meloku. Um, it's a good card for the token synergy. And Sacred Foundry is quite nice. It means that my turn fetch either blue or white, which is, you know, not as good as a Tundra or a Fountain, but pretty decent. Um, this is, yeah, I guess Gideon is also good with tokens, but again, I don't think we'll end up playing that. I still take it, and there it doesn't really matter. So I need to get a tremendous amount of card. There is a lot of things I can cut already. I'm not playing that, not main decking that. I'm not playing any of my 1-drop except for Ancestral Recall, obviously. I like all my 2-drops. I don't really like this Legionnaire, this Priest. Probably not playing Deluge main deck. Probably not playing Ravage's main deck. Every other 4-drop seems nice except for Brago. And that's 25, so actually I need to cut 2 more cards and I have a deck. My question is opposition gonna be good? How many token effect do I have right now? Desplat, Lingering Souls, and that's it. So basically I have 7 ways to produce token, and I guess 4 other creature, and I guess Treachery can count as a creature. That's probably enough to make opposition good. I definitely want the Signet for the flashback of Lingering Souls. I might even play a Swamp. My mana base is not good though, that's annoying. I only needed one Tundra or Fountain to make things easy, but I did not get any of those, which is annoying. Ralzarek is free to play with 5 red, 5 free red sources, but it means I have to put a mountain in my deck. And does it accomplish a lot? Not even sure. I mean, the deals 3 damage is nice, but untapping thing is not very good. I guess it's decent with Chase, but that is about it. Yep. Okay. Kinda like Planeswalker though. What should I cut? I mean, Emeria Angel is not very strong, but since I have 3 fetches and an opposition, that makes the card quite appealing. This is more of a 4 drops, 4 drop I would say. I have too many 4 drop, that's for sure. Maybe I should cut Ralzarek, because I don't want to cut any creature or anything that puts token. And even if it's quite free to play, I'm not sure. I'm rather unsure about what I should cut. Yeah, maybe I can cut the Wrath of God actually. I have decent ways to deal with things on the battlefield, in Banishing Light, Journey to Nowhere, Council, and Face Feather, and this might be fairly useless in a lot of matchup. Yeah, that should definitely be in the sideboard, that's for sure. Now I need to cut one more card. I don't think I can afford to play 16 lands. Yeah, I can't. I definitely can't. I have a lot of 5 and a 6 drop. I really don't like Emeria Angel that much, but honestly, with 3 fetches and an opposition, as I said, it's quite nice. One more card to cut. Actually, I could cut Spellkite of the main deck. It's a creature for opposition and it's good in some matchup, but it can be fairly useless, so it might be the cut here. Okay. Or the sword maybe. Sword, but the sword, once you have a few ways to produce tokens, sword is quite busted. Especially this one, because with one hit you already do a lot of things. Yeah, I think that's gonna be my main deck. I need one mountain, and okay, 6 planes means 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, this means 10 white sources, which is enough. And blue, I have 7. 7 is a bit low. I'd rather be 9, 8. Nope. So this is 8 blue sources, I guess 9 with the dimmer signet, which is fine, not great but fine, and 9 white too, since the Tarn can fetch the Foundry, and enough red, more than enough red. Okay, so this is gonna be my main deck. I think it's quite good. I definitely have some powerful cards, a good amount of control in my 2 counter spells, and the remove from the battlefield effect. And yeah, I'm not sure. This is definitely not a deck in which opposition is gonna be at its best, but I still think that the card is gonna be fairly good um, most of the time. So yep, this is the deck, and see you for round 1.